disaster recovery scenario, something that we've touched upon. And there's, again, multiple scenarios that you need to consider. So what can possibly happen to our DevOps infrastructure and how we will recover from it? And what makes reliable disaster recovery solution? So what scenarios you should take into consideration? First of all, being prepared for the outage, being prepared for GitLab going down. You should be able to make cross restore to another platform. So if GitHub has an outage, after 48 hours of outage, you can say, okay, guys, for the time being, we are switching to GitLab because it lasted 48 hours. We have no confidence that it will come back in next 24. For the time being, we are restoring our data back to GitLab to continue working there. Or very common scenario, you have outage of cloud and you're restoring data into your on-prem instance. We have GitHub self-managed instance. We are not doing anything with it on a daily basis, but in case of outage, we are restoring our cloud data into it so we can continue working there. Another thing, priority for us is getting back to work as soon as possible. Our boss is telling us, guys, every hour costs us 20 grand. We cannot wait any longer for our platform to come back live. Okay, then you want to be able to granularly restore most important data, but without overrating that's already anything that's already in place. Like, let's say you've lost 80% of your data from your GitHub account. You say, okay, we want to have restore, and we want to restore most of our data, but we don't want to just bring back the whole instance with a script, because our last script backup was done a week ago, and we'll lose week worth of data. We want to be able to restore the things that we need to continue working, and we want to continue working with only those things without disrupting the rest, because maybe in this instance, there is something that we want to keep using. I have actually a pretty interesting story about such a scenario. One of the companies I'm, let's say, friends with has been using Jira for their operations. And during the update of their Jira, that was Jira server, they had an outage that resulted in data loss. And that happened in the afternoon. And as a result of it, they lost the whole day worth of data because they wanted to restore from their backup that they've done in the morning. The data loss happened in the afternoon. The data loss happened only on part of the legacy data, but they were only able to restore from the backup that was covering the whole instance, meaning that they lost the whole day worth of data that from Jira. So everything that people done during the day, it went to trash because they used outdated backup. Another thing, if you lost access to your account, so my favorite scenario with our angry subcontractor, then first of all, if you have backup of your GitHub instance, like this customer did, you are able to make a restore. And even if you lost your original account, you want to be able to restore to completely different new account. And what we've done with this customer, actually, during the call, customer created with us free GitHub account, and they restored data into it from their backup, and they could have continued working without losing their source code. So that was a great example of how backup can be beneficial in case like this when we have our malicious actor. Sometimes we realize that certain data has been lost too late. For example, I had a customer who, for some reason, or I remember the reason, they changed permissions of one of the users in their GitHub, and they realized they haven't been backing up their deployment keys for over 2 weeks. And normally, if you are limited to using only your latest copy in restore, you are not able to retrieve those deployment keys because you haven't been protecting them for the last 2 weeks. However, with point-in-time restore, you're able to come back to copy you've done a month ago or 3 weeks ago and restore this specific data that you're looking for from it. So again, multiple different scenarios that your backup strategy should consider.